Hello BookTube, hello friends, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and I would like to share with you my reading project for the last 3 months of the year. So I am already in the middle of a big all-encompassing reading project that I call my 20 by 20 project. I started it at the beginning of 2018 and it goes through the end of 2020. And it's basically my version of the Stack the Series challenge that was, I believe, originated in the Romance Readers Reading Group. I first heard about it from Sarah from Steeped in Books. And at the beginning of this year, she decided to just encourage anyone who wanted to join her to do a Stack the Series challenge. And she's got some discussion threads in her Goodreads group. And so several of us have been working on that. Now, as I said, mine is encompassing a 3-year period. But I got inspired this month from Shannon Riddler, who decided to focus in September on, I think, 3 of her stacks and work to complete those stacks. And I thought, that's a great idea because I have so many stacks and so many categories and things on mine that it's a little overwhelming. And I thought it would be great to just focus on a few stacks for the next 3 months and see how much I can get finished by the end of the year. So what I have now is, again, it's kind of my version of a Stack the Series challenge, but it's a little more true to the form than my 20 by 20 challenge. So I want to show you the books that I'm planning to read, and then I'm excited to show you my visual aid, because when I started drawing it out, it took on kind of this different form that I wasn't expecting, and it's perfect for the season, and I can't wait to show it to you. But first, let's do the books. Now, before I get started with that, I did want to mention that when I did my video yesterday and I showed you my readathon TBR, I sort of had to cut that quick because of other things going on. And I would have also mentioned that I have a few other things on my TBR, like my Sunshine State books. Still got 5 of those I need to read. Also, I'm trying to read one of the Guardians of Ga'Hoole books that I found on my shelf that I want to pass on to my sister's grandson. So there's some middle grade books that I didn't mention and some audiobooks I didn't mention. And I do want to mention audiobooks right now because Sarah had been doing the Audible Romance Challenge or the Audible Escape Package Category Challenge, and she decided she didn't want to finish out the year with that. So I moved it over to my Goodreads group, and I have been announcing the last couple of months categories that I'm reading, and if any of you want to join in with me, then I would love for you to. So far the categories that I've drawn out haven't been right up my alley always. And what I thought I would do for October is, instead of drawing any out by random, I would just pick 2 that sort of fit the month a little bit better. So I chose Apocalyptic, and the book that I went ahead and chose for that, I don't have a way to show you a visual, but it's called The Land Uncharted by Keely Brooke Keith. And that looks pretty good, and I think it's one that's not going to be overly graphic according to the little chart. So I hope that I will enjoy that. And then the other one I picked is the thriller category. So I have chosen to listen to book 2 in the Hart and Drake series by C.J. Lyons. C.J. Lyons is an author. She is a medical doctor. I believe she used to be an ER doctor. She grew up in the same hometown as one of my coworkers, and he knows her, and he's been telling me about her books for ages. And I noticed that the first 2 books of the Hart and Drake series are on the Audible Escape Package. So I'm actually listening to the first book right now. I started it in time to count it for the Summer Romance Book Bingo. I needed another category. I think there was 2 different prompts for the read a book about someone in the medical field. So I wanted to read that because I knew that would fit that category. So I may as well go ahead and listen to book 2. There are a lot of thriller books in the thriller category. So take a look and see if you could find something that interests you to read or listen to in the month of October. So I hope you will join me. If you do plan to join me, let me know in the comments, and also check out my Goodreads group where you can add to the discussion there, and let me know if you are joining me this month for the category challenge. Then Let's get on now to my project. So, as I mentioned, this is a slice out of my 20 by 20 challenge, and these are more true to the idea of Stack the Series in that I have one series per stack. However, I have some novellas, and I have, you'll see how in a minute how this is going to work out. I have 12 stacks, and the biggest stack, the longest base stack, is only 6 books long. So you're thinking, how does that math work out? But let me show you. So the very top of the stack is a 0.5 book. It's 8.5 in the Harmony series by Jodi Thomas. Now, I did show this book in Friday Reads and said that I had already started it, but I decided to put this one on the back burner and work to finish all the other print books that I have going in September so that this will count for this challenge. This is book 8.5. The actual book is called Ask Me Why. It's got novellas by Jodi Thomas, Marie Force, Virginia Cantra, and Shirley Jump. I am only going to read the Jodi Thomas story right now, and it's called Midnight Bet, and that will complete the Harmony series for me by Jodi Thomas, and it's a series that I have thoroughly enjoyed. Then my next category is, or my next stack is going to be a single book. Actually, my next two are single books because one is a huge chunker and one is just an average length, so they can stack up nicely. The next stack is The Secrets We Carried by Mary McNear. This will catch me up on the Butternut Lake series. And then the next book after that is a giant book, and this will catch me up on the Remnant Chronicles. It's The Beauty of Darkness by Mary McNear. So you can see how this is working out. I have, that's not it. These are my first 3 stacks so far. I have a little novella, and then a shorter novel, and a long novel. And I only have 1 book per stack. Then the next stack is going to be a book and a half, or a book and a 0.5. So they're really actually both giant books. But the Red Queen series, I want to finish that, and I only need to read War Storm, which is gigantic. And then it's book 4, and then book 4.5 actually has 3 novellas, Broken Throne. I believe it has 3 new novellas, and then it has the 2 novellas that were previously published in the book Cruel Crown, and I have already read those. And then I believe it's got some maps and things like that. So I won't have to read this entire book because I've already read 2 of them. And this is big, but I can get both of these on audio CD from my library. So this is my next stack, which is a book and a half. Then the next stack, I'm going to have to consult my notes because I will forget. So the next stack is the Elm Creek Quilts series. There's a brand new one that may be out by now. I'm in line for it at the library, and that's book 21, but I have not read book 20, which is The Giving Quilt. These are by Jennifer Chiaverini. So I want to catch up with this series, and I believe I can get this on audio as well. So I'm excited about that. And then I'll have the new Christmas book to read at Christmas. I think it hopefully will come in, I think I'm 8th in line, and hopefully it'll work out where I'll be able to have it right around Christmas. So that'll be good. Then the next stack is 2.5 books. So I'm going to read some books by J.A. Jance. I can get all of them on audio. I'm going to first read Queen of the Night. This is book 4 in the Brandon Walker series. Then book 5 is called Dance of the Bones, and that will finish the Brandon Walker series for me. But book 5, Dance of the Bones, is also book 22 in the J.P. Beaumont series. So I'm going to go ahead and read or listen to book 22.5 in the J.P. Beaumont series. So that will make 2.5 books for the next stack. Then my next stack is the Heather Creek series. This is one of my read-along fails. I announced these books as a read-along last year, and I'm going to pick back up now because this is actually the appropriate month. The next book I need to read is an October book. It's called Circle of Grace by Leslie Gould. And then the next book is a Thanksgiving book by Robert Elmer, Homespun Harvest. And then in December, I can read A Patchwork Christmas, and it's by Kristen Eckhart. So if you, I know I had at least one person who was reading these with me. I believe she's at least a book ahead of me. I still don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. I know you told me at one point, and I've already forgotten. Starts with G, and I believe she's from France. And anyway, if you want to join in with me, or if any of you want to join in with me, and you can get a hold of these books, they're on ebook on Hoopla, and a lot of libraries have them too. They're a Guidepost series with multiple authors. The series is called Home to Heather Creek. Okay, so that's my 3, and then my next one will have 3.5 books. So that is going to be the Harmony series by Philip Gulley. I've read the first 2 books already. Actually, I've read the first 2.5. The book 2.5 was Christmas in Harmony. And so now I want to read book 3, Signs and Wonders. Book 4, Life Goes On. I believe that's book 4. Book 5, A Change of Heart. And then the next book is 5.5, and it is a Christmas scrapbook. So those are books that I definitely want to get to. I've been wanting to read these forever. There's only one left in the Harmony series after that, but I think it'd be even too ambitious for me to try to fit it in by the end of this year. So it's called Almost Friends. Then there's a spin-off series called Hope. So I'll just save the rest of those for next year. Then the next series is The Haunted Yarn Shop. So I mentioned this in my readathon TBR. I may as well just go ahead and try to get all 4 of these done. I can listen to them on Hoopla on audio. There's 4 left. I've only got this one here to show you. Spinning in Her Grave by Molly MacRae. There is a total of 6 in the Haunted Yarn Shop mystery series, and I've read the first 2. So the next 4 are on my stacks. Then the next one, I have 5, and that is going to be the next 5 in the Cape Light series. And I accidentally brought one of the wrong books in here, but I have already read Cape Light. This again is another failed read along. Donna from Palimpsest said that she's going to read this with me, and if anybody else wants to join in, please do. You'll need to go ahead and read Cape Light and have it read ASAP. And then book 2 is Home Song. Book 3 is A Gathering Place. Book 4 is A New Leaf. Hold on, I'll show you book 5. Book 5 is A Christmas Promise. And then book 6 is A Christmas Angel, or The Christmas Angel. So there's a lot more in the series, but all of the rest of them are Christmas themed. And so it has been my goal now for a couple of years to get those first 4 read, which don't seem to have any apparent Christmas theme, so that I can get to the Christmas books and then proceed to read 2 or 3 each year at Christmas. So my goal this year is to read the first 2 Christmas books, which are books 5 and 6 in the series. So that, I hope, will actually pan out this time. And then my last and base group is the Miss Read books. So I'm reading the first book in the Fairacre series right now, and I have the second book checked out from the library because I don't own it. It's called Village Diary. And then I have a copy of Storm in the Village, which is book 3. And then I'll have to get the next book from the library. It's called Miss Clare Remembers. Then I have a really neat old copy of the next book. I think it's book 5, Over the Gate. And then book 6 is called Village Christmas. I have it in this bind up of 3 of the Fairacre Christmas books. So this one is called Christmas at Fairacre, but I will only be reading Village Christmas out of this book and saving the others. So now that just makes 5 books because I'm already reading the first one. I'm going to have it finished by the end of September. So I thought I would go ahead and make it a goal to pick back up with the Thrush Green series because that's on my 20 by 20 challenge. And book 3 is my next one to read in that series, and it's called News from Thrush Green. So those are... Is that 11 or 12? I don't know. We'll figure it out in a second. But anyway, those are my stacks. And I sat down with my reading journal and I wanted to draw it out and just kind of get a visual. And because I have some stacks that, have the same amount of books in them, but one stack's longer than the other, and because I have some 0.5 books in there, it came out to be a lot skinnier. Normally, if you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it comes out as a pyramid. But when I started drawing mine out on my reading journal, I realized by the time I was finishing it up that it comes out like a Christmas tree. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? I'm so excited because I'm going to finish this at Christmas time. So I figured out a way to incorporate everything that I'm going to be reading for the months of October, November, and December onto this chart. And I'm going to hang it here somewhere so that you'll be able to see it and track my progress with all my videos. So what I did here is I plugged in each book for each stack. So I have here like the Harmony 8.5. I can't even see this without my glasses. Give me a second. I'm not going to read them all to you again because I just told them to you. But here's the Butternut Lake book, the Remnant Chronicles book, the Red Queen, 4, 4.5, and it goes down like that. So I got to the bottom, and there's my 6 misread books. And I thought, well, I need a base. Well, I already had a book that I was trying to figure out how to incorporate it in. I have been reading the Patchwork Mystery Series. It's a series published by Guidepost, and I'm ready to read book 5, which is a Christmas book. So that's on my December TBR. So I made it my base, and I'm excited about how this really turned out. I'm thrilled. So then how I'm going to incorporate everything else. I decided that in the month of November, of course, I'm going to read some nonfiction books for Nonfiction November. In fact, any nonfiction book that I read between the beginning of October through the end of December, I will represent that book, each book, as a gift, because that will be a gift to myself. And so for these are just here temporarily, just so you kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. I will either use a sticker of a package, or I'll make a package, or I'll use these or whatever. And for each nonfiction book that I read in November or anytime during these 3 months, then I will illustrate that with a gift. Then I also have some middle grade books. I'm still trying to finish up the last 5 of the Sunshine State books, and I mentioned the book I want to give to Tate. So if I want to represent those here, I think I will represent those with some stickers of various toys. I've got a huge amount of scrapbook supplies in my outbuilding, and I couldn't get to them today because we have a detached garage, and that's where I have 2/3 of it as my craft space. But I have to go through my husband's section to get to mine. And, we had a hurricane scare a couple weeks ago. So the grill, everything from outside that he wanted to put inside is blocking the entrance to my part of the shop. So I couldn't get to any of my craft supplies today, but I will be able to get to them. So I'm going to use stickers to illustrate. I will pull some toy stickers to illustrate the middle grade books that I read. And then I have stickers of Christmas lights. So for every Christmas themed book that I read, it will include some of them that are already included here, as well as some other Christmas books that are on my December TBR. I will add a light to the tree and maybe a star at the top. I don't know. We'll see. Did I have... if I read... when I read the Christmas Angel, maybe I'll add an angel sticker to the top, even though that's not the book that's up there. Anyway, I'm going to make it fun, and I'm just super excited about this whole thing because it just came about accidentally, and sometimes those are the best things, the things that are surprises for you, and I'm excited. So anyway, I will be continuing to add to this. I'm still deciding if I want to make little thumbnails of each book and stick pictures, or if I just want to fill it in with a color. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but we'll just decide that as it happens. Anyway, so that's all I have for this video, and I would love to know what you're reading for the month of October. What do you think about my Stack the Series challenge? Would you like to read any of these along with me? And I guess that's all I have for this video. Chat with me down in the comments, and I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.